The stars looked different from this part of space. Commander Jack Mitchell stood on the bridge of the Retribution, watching the endless void through the main view screen. His crew worked quietly at their stations, checking systems and monitoring sensors. "Sir, we're approaching the last known position of the colony ship," said Lieutenant Sam Rodriguez from the navigation console. His fingers moved across the holographic display, plotting their course through the unknown region. Jack nodded. "Keep scanning." The Neptune's harvest had 3,000 colonists aboard. They can't just vanish. The Retribution moved through space like a shadow. Its dark hull absorbed light rather than reflecting it. The ship's unique design made it nearly invisible to most sensors. This was humanity's most advanced warship, though nobody knew that except its crew. Hundreds of light years away, the Galactic Empire watched its borders. The Empire controlled thousands of star systems and had conquered every species it encountered. In the Imperial Sensor Station, warning lights began to flash. "Commander Vexthor, we're detecting anomalies in Sector 7, reported a young officer. His 4 arms worked the controls while his compound eyes studied the data. Vexthor walked over, his massive form casting shadows across the control panels. The Admiral had served the Empire for 200 years. He had never lost a battle. "Show me," he ordered. The screen displayed sensor readings that made no sense. Something was moving through space, but the readings kept changing. One moment it appeared solid. The next it seemed to fade like smoke. "Probably a sensor malfunction," Vexthor said. "Our equipment is old. Send a patrol to investigate." The officer hesitated. "Sir, these readings are unlike anything in our database. What if it's something new?" Vexthor's mandibles clicked in amusement. "The Empire has conquered 10,000 species. There is nothing new under the stars. Send the patrol." Back on the Retribution, Chief Engineer Kate Johnson noticed something odd in her readings. She called Jack on the internal comm. "Commander, I'm detecting artificial structures about 50 light years from here. They're putting out a lot of energy." Jack studied the data she sent to his console. "Looks like some kind of sensor network. Any signs of our colony ship?" "Negative, sir, but these structures are massive. Someone built an early warning system out here." "Stay alert," Jack ordered. "We don't know who we might meet." The Empire's patrol ships launched from their base. 6 sleek vessels armed with plasma cannons and shield generators that could withstand asteroid impacts. They headed toward the anomaly with confidence. Captain Lisa Morgan entered the Retribution's bridge. As the ship's commanding officer, she had final say on all decisions. Jack stood and offered her the command chair. "Status report," she said. "We've detected unknown structures, Captain. Possibly defensive installations. No sign of our colony ship yet." Lisa frowned. "Unknown structures mean unknown species. Set condition yellow. I want all defensive systems ready." In the Imperial throne room, Emperor Zakthol received his daily reports. The ancient being had ruled for 5 centuries. His empire spanned half the galaxy. "What news from the frontier?" he asked his advisors. "Minor sensor anomalies, Your Majesty. Admiral Vexthor is investigating." The Emperor waved a clawed hand dismissively. "The frontier is always full of anomalies. Space debris, cosmic storms, dying stars. Nothing threatens the Empire." His advisors bowed in agreement. The Empire was eternal, unchanging, unchallenged. The Retribution continued its search, unaware that it had triggered alarms across an empire that controlled thousands of worlds. The crew focused on their mission: find the missing colonists and bring them home. As the human warship moved deeper into unknown space, neither side realized they were about to meet. The Empire expected another easy conquest if they found anything at all. The humans just wanted to find their people. The stage was set for a meeting that would change the galaxy forever. The Imperial patrol ships moved in perfect formation through the darkness. Their sensors swept empty space, searching for whatever had triggered the alarms. Commander Grix led the patrol from his flagship. He had served the Empire for 50 years and seen many strange things. "Nothing on scanners," reported his sensor officer. "Wait, there's something. It's faint." Grix leaned forward. "Show me." The screen flickered. For a moment, something appeared. A ship unlike anything in their records. Then it vanished like it had never been there. "Ghost signal?" Grix asked. "No, sir." It was solid for 0.3 seconds. Then it disappeared. On the Retribution, Weapons Officer Chris Bailey noticed the approaching ships. "Captain Morgan, we have company. 6 vessels, unknown configuration." Lisa studied her tactical display. "They're scanning for us. Our stealth systems are working, but they're getting close." "Should we reveal ourselves?" asked Jack. Lisa shook her head. "Not yet. Let's see what they do first." The Retribution's stealth technology was humanity's greatest secret. The ship could bend light and radiation around itself, becoming nearly invisible. It could also shift partially out of normal space, existing between dimensions. The Imperial Patrol continued its search. Every few minutes, their sensors caught glimpses of something impossible, a ship that seemed to exist in multiple places at once, energy readings that defied physics. "This makes no sense," muttered Grix. "Our sensors must be malfunctioning." His weapons officer disagreed. "Sir, all 6 ships are reading the same thing. Whatever's out there, it's real." Fear crept into Grix's mind. The Empire's technology was supreme. They had conquered every species they met, but this was different. On the Retribution, Chief Engineer Kate Johnson monitored the ship's systems. "Captain, they're increasing their scan intensity. Our stealth field is holding, but they're starting to see through it." "Can we slip away?" Lisa asked. "Negative. They'd formed a search grid. If we move, they'll spot us for sure." Lisa made a decision. "Drop stealth. Let them see us, but keep weapons powered down. Maybe they're friendly." The Retribution shimmered into view. The Imperial ships reacted instantly, weapons targeting the human vessel. "By the Emperor," gasped Grix. "What is that thing?" The human ship defied everything he knew about starship design. Its hull seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Strange energy patterns danced across its surface. "Unknown vessel," Grix transmitted. "You have entered Imperial space. Identify yourself." Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez looked at Captain Morgan. "They're using a translation matrix. I can understand them." "Open a channel," Lisa ordered. "This is Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth ship Retribution. We're searching for a missing colony vessel. We mean no harm." Grix listened to the reply with growing alarm. Earth? He had never heard of such a place. No species unknown to the Empire could have technology like this. "You will surrender for inspection," he commanded. "Any resistance will be met with force." Lisa sighed. First contact was going exactly as the pessimists had predicted. "We can't do that. We're on a rescue mission. Please, we just want to find our people." Grix gave the order. "All ships, disable that vessel. Use minimal force." 6 plasma beams lanced through space. They struck the Retribution's hull and passed through empty air. The ship flickered, then reappeared 10 kilometers away. "Impossible," breathed Grix. On the Retribution, Navigator Alex Turner's hands flew over his console. "Phase shift successful, Captain. Their weapons can't lock onto us when we're partially shifted." "They attacked first," said Chris Bailey. "Rules of engagement allow us to return fire." Lisa held up her hand. "No, they're scared. Scared people make bad decisions. Maria, keep trying to communicate." The Imperial ships fired again. And again. Each time, their weapons found nothing but empty space. The human ship danced between dimensions, untouchable as a ghost. Panic spread through the Imperial Patrol. They were the Empire's finest, armed with weapons that could shatter moons. Yet they couldn't touch one ship. Admiral Vexthor stood before the massive tactical display in the Empire's command center. The reports from Commander Grix made no sense. One ship defeating 6 patrol vessels without firing a shot. Impossible. Play the sensor recordings again, he ordered. The hologram showed the battle, if it could be called that. The human ship appeared and disappeared like a phantom. Plasma beams passed through empty space. The Empire's finest weapons were useless. Prepare the Third Fleet, Vexthor commanded. 200 ships. We'll crush this intruder with overwhelming force. His aide hesitated. Sir, perhaps we should study their technology first. Vexthor's mandibles clicked angrily. The Empire doesn't study. We conquer. Launch the fleet. On the Retribution, Lieutenant Sam Rodriguez detected the incoming armada. His face turned pale as he counted the enemy ships. Captain, we have a problem. 200 vessels approaching. Multiple dreadnoughts, carriers, and battleships. Lisa Morgan studied the tactical display. The Imperial fleet was massive, each ship bristling with weapons. She turned to her crew. They're sending everything they have. Suggestions. Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez spoke first. Let me try talking to them again. Maybe their admiral will be more reasonable. I doubt it, said Weapons Officer Chris Bailey. They think force solves everything. We should jump to hyperspace. We can't, said Jack Mitchell. We still haven't found the colony ship. 3,000 people are counting on us. Lisa made her decision. We stay. But we try diplomacy first. Maria, open all channels. The Retribution broadcast on every frequency. Imperial Fleet, this is Captain Morgan. We're not your enemy. We're searching for missing civilians. Please respond. Admiral Vexthor received the message on his flagship. He laughed, a harsh sound like grinding metal. They beg already. How disappointing. All ships, surround the intruder. Demand surrender. The Imperial fleet formed a sphere around the Retribution. Hundreds of weapons locked onto the human ship. Vexthor's voice boomed across space. Unknown vessel, you face the might of the Galactic Empire. Surrender now or be destroyed. Lisa stood at her command console. Her crew waited for orders. She spoke calmly into the comm. Admiral, we've done nothing wrong. We're on a humanitarian mission. Why are you threatening us? You invaded Imperial space. That is crime enough. We didn't know this was your territory. We're just looking for our people. Vexthor grew impatient. Your excuses mean nothing. Surrender or die. Chief Engineer Kate Johnson reported quietly. Captain, they're charging weapons. All of them. Lisa sighed. Sometimes the universe forced your hand. Chris, activate defensive protocols. Kate, maximum power to void shields. The Retribution began to glow with strange energy. Its experimental void shields created a bubble of twisted space around the ship. Inside this bubble, the normal laws of physics bent to humanity's will. Fire, ordered Vexthor. 200 ships unleashed their weapons at once. Beams, missiles, and plasma charges filled space with destructive energy. The light was blinding. When the glare faded, the Retribution floated unharmed. Its void shields had absorbed every attack, channeling the energy into alternate dimensions. Impossible, whispered Vexthor. All ships, concentrate fire on that vessel. The barrage continued for 10 minutes. The Imperial fleet threw everything they had at the human ship. Nuclear warheads, antimatter charges, gravity bombs. Nothing worked. On the Retribution, the crew watched in amazement. Their ship's defenses held against firepower that could crack planets. Shield status, asked Lisa. Holding at full strength, Kate reported. The void shields are barely stressed. We could do this all day. Security Chief Jake Foster spoke up. Captain, they'll run out of ammunition soon. What then? Lisa watched the Imperial ships frantically reloading their weapons. Then maybe they'll finally listen to reason. Admiral Vexthor stared at his tactical display in growing horror. His entire fleet couldn't scratch one ship. The Empire's military superiority, unquestioned for millennia, was crumbling before his eyes. "What are we fighting?" he muttered. The Imperial fleet floated in space, weapons empty and spirits broken. Admiral Vexthor gripped his command chair, his claws leaving deep marks in the metal. Nothing in the Empire's long history had prepared them for this. "Sir," his tactical officer reported, "the human ship is powering up something new." On the Retribution, Chief Engineer Kate Johnson worked at her console. "Captain Morgan, they've stopped firing. Should we show them what we can really do?" Lisa nodded slowly. "Just a demonstration. No casualties. We need them to understand." Kate activated the quantum phase drive. The Retribution began to shimmer, its outline blurring. Then something impossible happened. The ship split into multiple versions of itself. "By the Emperor," gasped an Imperial sensor operator. "There are 12 of them. No, 20. They're multiplying." Admiral Vexthor watched his screen in horror. Dozens of human warships now surrounded his fleet, each one solid, real, and identical. "It's a trick," he said. "Holograms. They must be holograms." His weapons officer shook his head. "No, sir. Each one has mass, energy signatures, and weapon systems. They're all real." The Retribution existed in multiple realities at once. Each version occupied the same space, but in different dimensional phases. To the Imperial fleet, it looked like an army of ghost ships. Captain Morgan spoke through the comm. "Admiral, this is just one ship. We can exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Please stop this pointless conflict." Vexthor's mind struggled to comprehend what he was seeing. The Empire's greatest scientists had never imagined such technology. How could one species be so advanced? Weapons Officer Chris Bailey targeted the Imperial ship's weapon systems with surgical precision. "Captain, I can disable their entire fleet without killing anyone. Should I?" Lisa considered. These people had attacked first, but they were clearly terrified. "Do it, but gently." Beams of energy lanced out from the multiple versions of the Retribution. Each beam hit exactly where it was aimed. Weapon arrays melted. Shield generators overloaded. Engines went dark. In seconds, the mighty Imperial fleet was defenseless. 200 warships floated helplessly in space, unable to fight or flee. "Damage report," Vexthor demanded. "All weapons offline. Shields down. Engines disabled." "But sir, they hit only our military systems. Life support, gravity, communications, all working perfectly." The Admiral stared at the tactical display. His fleet hadn't been destroyed. It had been carefully, precisely disarmed, like a parent taking dangerous toys from children. On the Retribution, Medical Officer Dr. Emma Clark monitored the Imperial ships. "No casualties on their side, Captain. Their life signs are stable. They're scared but unharmed." "Good," Lisa said. "Now maybe they'll listen." The multiple versions of the Retribution merged back into one. The ship hung in space, surrounded by the crippled Imperial fleet. "Admiral Vexthor," Lisa transmitted, "we could have destroyed you, but we didn't. We're not conquerors. We're explorers, looking for our lost people. Will you help us?" Vexthor sat in his darkened bridge. His career, his pride, his certainty in the Empire's power, all lay in ruins. But his crew was alive. The humans had shown mercy. I don't understand," he said. "Why spare us?" "Because we're not monsters," Lisa replied. "We defend ourselves, but we don't kill without reason." "Now, about our missing colony ship." The Admiral's tactical officer spoke quietly. "Sir, our border stations did detect an unknown vessel 3 weeks ago. It was destroyed by automated defenses before we could investigate." Lisa's heart sank. "Destroyed? You killed them?" "We didn't know," Vexthor said. "The defenses fire on any unidentified ship. It's standard protocol." Silence filled the comm channels. The Retribution's crew absorbed the terrible news. 3,000 colonists dead because of a misunderstanding. "Where?" Lisa asked, her voice hard. Vexthor transmitted the coordinates. I'm sorry. We thought it was an invasion scout. The Retribution's crew looked at their captain. They had the power to crush the Empire, to take revenge for their lost people. But Lisa Morgan remembered why humans had reached the stars. Not to conquer, but to explore. Not to destroy, but to build. Thank you for the truth, she said finally. Emperor Zakthul sat on his crystal throne, listening to the impossible report. His ancient eyes, which had seen the rise and fall of civilizations, now showed something new. Fear. 200 ships disabled by one vessel. He asked. That cannot be true. The messenger trembled before him. Your Majesty, we have the sensor recordings. The human ship exists in multiple dimensions. Our weapons cannot touch it. The Emperor's advisors whispered among themselves. In 5,000 years, the Empire had never faced defeat. They had crushed every species, absorbed every culture. Now one ship had broken their greatest fleet. On the Retribution, Intelligence Officer Dana Smith intercepted the Empire's communications. The ship's quantum computers decoded their encryption easily. Captain Morgan, I'm reading massive panic in their command structure. They're calling us nightmare beings and dimensional demons. Lisa looked tired. The news about the colony ship weighed on everyone. What else? The Emperor is mobilizing ancient weapons, things they haven't used in millennia. Planet killers. Jack Mitchell turned to his captain. Planet killers. They're that afraid of us. Lisa nodded grimly. Fear makes people do terrible things, and we've just shattered their entire worldview. Deep in the Imperial Palace, Emperor Zakthul descended to the forbidden vaults. His guards followed nervously. No one had entered these chambers in 1,000 years. Ancient machines hummed to life. Weapons from the Empire's darkest age. Planet crackers that could split worlds. Star killers that could extinguish suns. The Emperor had kept them locked away, too terrible to use. Wake them all, he commanded. The nightmare ship must be destroyed. But Majesty, an advisor said carefully, these weapons could destroy entire systems. The collateral damage. Better to rule over ashes than to fall to these humans, the Emperor replied. Back on the Retribution, Navigator Alex Turner detected strange energy signatures. Captain, I'm reading massive power buildups throughout Imperial space. Whatever they're activating, it's old and dangerous. Dr. Emma Clark studied the medical data from the disabled Imperial ships. Captain, I've been analyzing their physiology. They're not evil, just afraid. Their culture is built on being the strongest. We've shattered that. Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez added, their news networks are spreading panic. They're calling us invaders from another dimension. Lisa made a decision. We need to talk directly to their Emperor. Maria, can you reach him? I can try. Their palace has the most advanced comm systems. The Retribution sent a focused transmission to the Imperial capital. The message was simple. Emperor Zakthul, this is Captain Morgan. We need to talk. In his throne room, the Emperor received the message. His advisors urged him to ignore it. It's a trick, they said. The humans want to find our location. But Zakthul was old and wise. He had ruled through cunning as much as force. Put them through. Lisa appeared on the Emperor's screen. To his surprise, she looked ordinary. Not a demon or monster, just a human in a simple uniform. Emperor, we didn't come here to conquer. We came looking for our people. Your automated defenses killed them. And now you seek revenge, the Emperor asked. No, we seek understanding. Your admiral told us it was an accident. We believe him. The Emperor studied her face. You disabled my fleet but killed no one. Why? Because we're not monsters. We're explorers. We only wanted to find our colony ship. But your technology, the Emperor said, you could destroy us all. Lisa leaned forward. Yes, we could. But having power doesn't mean using it. That's the difference between us. The Emperor sat back, processing her words. His entire philosophy was based on might making right, These humans had ultimate might but chose not to use it. "The weapons I'm activating," he said slowly, "they could crack planets." "We know," Lisa replied. "We're detecting them. But they won't work on us. You'll only destroy your own systems trying." The truth hit the Emperor like a physical blow. His ultimate weapons were useless. His empire's power was an illusion. These humans held all the cards. "What do you want?" he asked finally. The Emperor's planet-killer weapons powered up across the galaxy. Ancient machines that had slept for thousands of years now awakened. Their energy signatures made stars flicker and space itself seemed to bend. Navigator Alex Turner watched his sensors with growing alarm. "Captain, they're aiming those weapons at us. The gravitational distortions are massive." Lisa Morgan stood at her command station. "How long until they fire?" 10 minutes, maybe less." "Captain, these weapons can destroy entire solar systems." The crew of the Retribution faced a terrible choice. They could reveal their full power and stop the weapons, or continue showing restraint and risk the destruction of innocent worlds. Medical Officer Dr. Emma Clark spoke up. "Captain, we've been monitoring their ships. The crews are terrified. They don't want this fight." "Neither do we," Lisa replied. "But their Emperor is forcing our hand." In the Imperial Command Center, military leaders watched the ancient weapons charge. Many felt uneasy about using such destructive power. "Emperor," said General Korth, an old soldier who had served for centuries, "these weapons will kill billions of our own people. The Retribution is in inhabited space. Sacrifices must be made," the Emperor replied. But his voice lacked conviction. On the Retribution, Security Chief Jake Foster prepared his team. "If we have to act, we need to be precise. Disable the weapons without destroying them." Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez interrupted. "Captain, I'm receiving transmissions from Imperial worlds near the weapon platforms. They're begging their Emperor to stop." Lisa listened to the messages. Families, officials, even military commanders pleading for sanity. The Empire's own people were turning against this madness. "Put me through to their military channels," Lisa ordered. "All of them." Maria worked her console. "You're connected, Captain. Every Imperial soldier can hear you." Lisa spoke clearly and calmly. "Officers and soldiers of the Empire, this is Captain Morgan. Your Emperor is about to fire weapons that will destroy your own worlds. We don't want to fight you. We came in peace, looking for our lost people." Across the Empire, soldiers listened. Many had fought in the fleet that the Retribution had disabled. They remembered how the humans had spared their lives. Chief Engineer Kate Johnson monitored the weapon platforms. "Captain, the planet killers are entering final charging sequence. 5 minutes to firing." Lisa made her decision. "Kate, can we neutralize those weapons without killing the crews?" "Yes, Captain. The quantum field can disrupt their power cores. It'll be like pulling the plug." "Do it." The Retribution's systems hummed with power. Energy that could reshape reality itself flowed through the ship. Kate's hands moved across her controls with practiced precision. "Quantum field expanding," she reported. "Targeting weapon platforms." Across the galaxy, the ancient weapons began to fail. Not violently, not with explosions or death. They simply stopped working. Power cores went dark. Targeting systems shut down. The terrible machines returned to sleep. In his throne room, Emperor Zak Thol watched his ultimate weapons become useless toys. No explosions, no battles, just quiet failure. "How?" he whispered. Back on the Retribution, Dr. Emma Clark reported, "No casualties on the weapon platforms. Their crews are safe." The Imperial military channels exploded with chatter. Soldiers reported what they had witnessed. The humans had once again shown mercy. They had saved Imperial worlds from their own Emperor's madness. Admiral Vexthor, still aboard his disabled flagship, contacted the Imperial Palace. "Your Majesty, it's over. They could have destroyed us all, but they chose not to. Perhaps it's time to listen." The Emperor slumped in his throne. Everything he believed about power and control was crumbling. These humans had shown strength beyond his comprehension, yet used it only to protect. Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez looked at her captain. The Imperial military is refusing further orders to attack. They're demanding talks with us. Lisa nodded. The tide was turning, not through conquest or destruction, but through restraint and mercy. The Retribution moved through space toward the coordinates Admiral Vexthor had provided. The crew was quiet, each person dealing with the knowledge that their colony ship had been destroyed. "We're approaching the debris field," Navigator Alex Turner reported softly. Captain Lisa Morgan stared at the view screen. Pieces of metal floated in the darkness. The remains of the Neptune's harvest. 3,000 lives ended by automated systems. "Scan for survivors," she ordered, though she knew it was hopeless. "Nothing, Captain," Alex replied. The weapons were thorough. Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez had been working on something. "Captain, I've recovered the colony ship's final transmissions. They were trying to communicate." "Play it," Lisa said. The bridge speakers came alive with voices full of hope. "Unknown vessels, this is the colony ship Neptune's harvest. We are civilians on a peaceful mission. Please respond." Then panic. "They're firing. We have children aboard. Please stop." Then nothing. The bridge crew stood in silence. These people had died trying to make peaceful contact, just as the Retribution had attempted. "They never had a chance," whispered Security Chief Jake Foster. Lisa turned to Maria. "Can you broadcast this recording across the Empire?" "Yes, Captain. Their entire communication network is open to us." "Do it. Let everyone hear what happened." Across the Galactic Empire, on every world and ship, the recording played. Citizens heard human voices pleading for peace. They heard children crying. They heard death coming for innocent people. On the Imperial capital, crowds gathered in public spaces, listening in horror. The official story had been different. They'd been told the humans were invaders, that the colony ship was a warship. Emperor Zaxthel sat alone in his throne room, listening to the recording. Each word was like a knife in his heart. His automated defenses, his paranoid protocols, had killed innocents. General Korth entered the throne room. "Majesty, the people are demanding answers. The military is refusing to follow attack orders. They want to know why we killed civilians." "Because we were afraid," the Emperor said quietly. "We saw a ship we didn't recognize and destroyed it without thinking." On the Retribution, Intelligence Officer Dana Smith reported, "Captain, there's massive unrest throughout the Empire. Citizens are protesting their government's actions." Dr. Emma Clark was treating some captured Imperial soldiers who had requested asylum. "Captain, these soldiers want to share what they know. The Empire has destroyed 17 peaceful species in the last century alone, always claiming self-defense." Lisa felt sick. How many other colony ships had met the same fate? How many civilizations had been wiped out by fear? "Maria, open a channel to every Imperial citizen," she ordered. When the connection was established, Lisa spoke from her heart. "People of the Empire, I am Captain Lisa Morgan. We came to your space looking for our lost colony ship. Your automated defenses destroyed it. 3,000 innocent people, including children, died." She paused, letting the words sink in. "We could have destroyed you in revenge. We have the power, but we chose not to. We believe in mercy, in understanding, in building bridges instead of walls. Your Emperor rules through fear. He teaches you to destroy what you don't understand. But there's another way, a better way." The transmission ended. Across the Empire, citizens looked at each other with new eyes. The humans, these supposed invaders, had shown more compassion than their own government. In military bases, soldiers laid down their weapons. On colony worlds, governors declared independence from the Empire. The truth about the Neptune's harvest had shattered the Empire's propaganda. Admiral Vexthor contacted the Retribution. "Captain Morgan, I speak for many in the military. We're tired of killing innocents. We want change. Lisa nodded. Then help us bring it about. The Emperor watched his empire begin to crumble, not from external force, but from internal revelation. The truth was more powerful than any weapon. The imperial palace stood quiet for the first time in centuries. No guards patrolled its halls. No advisors whispered in corners. Emperor Zakthul sat alone on his throne, watching his empire transform through the view screens. Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge of the Retribution. The ship now floated above the imperial capital, its weapons powered down. Not as a conqueror, but as a guardian. Captain, Communications Officer Maria Gonzalez reported, Admiral Vexthor is requesting permission to board. He brings representatives from across the Empire. Grant permission, Lisa replied. It's time to talk. The meeting took place in the Retribution's conference room. Admiral Vexthor entered with governors, generals, and citizen leaders. They stared in wonder at the human technology surrounding them. This ship, Vexthor said, it could destroy worlds, yet you use it to protect. Chief Engineer Kate Johnson smiled. Technology is just a tool. What matters is how you use it. Security Chief Jake Foster had prepared a presentation. We'd like to show you something. The room's holographic projectors activated, displaying star maps. This is human space, 50 colonies, 12 species living together in peace. The imperial representatives gasped. 12 species, living as equals. Not subjects, not slaves, Lisa explained. Partners, we learned long ago that diversity makes us stronger. General Korth leaned forward. But how do you maintain order without force? With trust, Lisa replied. With mutual respect. With the understanding that we're all in this together. Medical Officer Dr. Emma Clark added, We've studied your history. Your empire expanded through fear. But fear is a prison. We offer freedom. The discussions continued for hours. The imperial representatives asked countless questions. How did humans resolve conflicts? How did different species work together? How did they advance so far technologically? Navigator Alex Turner explained their philosophy. We explore to learn, not to conquer. Every new species we meet teaches us something. Your empire has conquered thousands of worlds. Imagine if you had befriended them instead. Meanwhile, on the planet below, citizens gathered in massive crowds. They watched the Retribution floating peacefully in their sky. The ship that could have destroyed them had become a symbol of hope. Emperor Zakthul finally left his throne room. He walked through empty corridors to a balcony overlooking his capital. Millions of his subjects stood below, no longer afraid, no longer obedient. Your Majesty, a voice said behind him. He turned to see Captain Morgan. You came, he said simply. You invited me, Lisa replied. It's time to decide your empire's future. The Emperor looked old, tired. I've ruled through fear for 5,000 years. I don't know another way. Then learn, Lisa said. Your people are ready for change. The question is, are you? In the conference room, agreements took shape. The empire would transform into a federation. Automated weapons would be dismantled. Peaceful contact protocols would replace shoot-first policies. Intelligence Officer Dana Smith worked with Imperial data specialists. Together, they identified 17 surviving civilizations that had been conquered but not destroyed. Plans were made to grant them freedom. Weapons Officer Chris Bailey helped design new defense systems. Protection without aggression, he explained. Shields instead of planet killers. Days passed. The Retribution became a bridge between old and new. Imperial technology adapted human innovations. Fear-based protocols gave way to trust-based cooperation. Finally, Emperor Zakthul addressed his people. I have ruled you through fear. I taught you that strength meant destruction. I was wrong. These humans have shown us true strength lies in mercy, in understanding, in choosing not to destroy when you have the power to do so. He stepped down from his throne. I am no longer your emperor. Choose your own leaders. Build your own future. The transformation wasn't instant. Change never is. But across the galaxy, worlds began reaching out to each other in friendship rather than fear. Captain Lisa Morgan stood on her bridge one last time before heading home. The Retribution had found answers about their lost colony ship. More importantly, they had prevented such tragedies from happening again. "Ready to go home?" asked Jack Mitchell. Lisa nodded. "Our mission is complete. Not the way we expected, but maybe the way it needed to be." The Nightmare warship departed, leaving behind a galaxy forever changed.